There are so many places in the world you could have chosen to be. How and why did you choose the Baja?
Well, that's an easy one for me. A lot of the decision had to do for my family. They're like, because I wanted to go to Costa Rica and some of these places like, oh, no, that's too far. That's too far. If you have anybody ever wants to come visit you, it's got to be close. So this, I mean, it's wonderful. It's 2 hours, south of the border, and people can come visit on a weekend, which is too bad for them because it's not long enough. But yeah, my family had a big influence on me coming here. And then when we took the trip down, we met Dan and Masanee, and they were like, just sort of took us under their wing. So that's why we chose. We were from California. We thought we can't afford, any property in California where you're looking at the water on one window and the mountains out the other window. So it was an easy decision for us. We love it.
I think the water on one side and the mountain on the other side. When we bought our land, I called my mom on the phone and I told her, Mom, guess what? I bought some land between the devil and the deep blue sea. Because the mountain is Mount Diablo, yeah.
I have stolen that line a couple times. I like that.
I did too.
Between the devil and the deep blue sea. And also you can drive your dog back and forth. You don't have to fly. If you're down further south, it's an awful long way to go. And then you've got to deal with the problem of transporting your animal.
Mm-hmm. And it's easy if you have a severe health issue to get back over the border.
Exactly.
But the reason that I happened to choose this area was El Dorado Ranch. I liked that there was security here. I liked that you actually got some kind of proof that you had ownership. I liked that the project was financeable if you wanted to build a house. And the closeness to the border was important.
For us, we had no intentions on moving to Baja. We were simply taking a vacation and helping a friend move who was having a house built here. And we were here for a week, and we absolutely loved it. And just for fun, we had the real estate agent show us some properties. And by day 6, we bought a lot in solar, and we absolutely love it. For me, I love to fish, and the fishing is phenomenal here, and you have the best of both worlds. You're in a beautiful desert environment, and the sea is right here.
Yeah, we followed our friends, Lisbeth and Lynda, down here, and we love it because it's got the ocean, and it's very similar to where we live in Canada, because we have the ocean and the mountains. And we, as Carol said, we can bring the dog down, in the motor home, and we go back every Christmas, so it's drivable in the car. And I love the fresh air, clean environment, the solar, being on our own, being independent with solar energy.
Solar's wonderful.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Isn't it one of the largest solar developments in
North America? Yeah.
We came down to visit some friends. I don't know if you guys remember Carol and Jan lived over on the other side. And when we came with them, they had parties all the time. And so they introduced us to this huge women's community.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we bought here for, was that it's a large, large women's community. And we were only going to stay just at the old RV park. I don't know if you guys remember that. Mm-hmm. And we were there the last week it was open. They kicked us out. And so we had to go stay with Carol and Jan, and we couldn't leave because within 6 days of being here, we had started the process of buying a lot, like everybody else did. Yeah. And so we stayed in front of their house and fell in love actually with solar, although our lot's is electric.
We had planned to retire in Montana for fishing again. Fishing is so important. And then winter in Oregon, where we've spent 30 years with all of our network of friends. And we ran into this woman at a party, and her partner Dana, and they said, "What are you doing in Oregon in the winter? Come down to Baja and visit us." I said, "Well, scary, we can't do that." I said, and you said to me, "Do I look stupid to you?"
And who's gonna say yes to this?
Nobody.
Yeah.
So we came down to check it out for ourselves, and immediately we stayed a month in the condos, and during that month we shopped and bought a lot in solar, and haven't looked back. Wonderful, just constantly better and better, actually, and that was a couple of years ago.
We've had 6 friends that have come down and all have bought. So it says something about that combination of fishing and fun and really friendly people. I mean, because it can be so busy here.
A very diverse
You can
community.
be as busy as you want to with all the activities, or as reclusive as you want to.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to schedule this interview. So, oh no, I've got pickleball. Oh no, I'm going fishing. Oh no, I've got dominoes. And it was funny when people say to me, "What do you do all the time?" And now that my brother came down to visit me, I'm a cancer survivor the last year and a half, and my family was very concerned about me coming down here and not, not having the health facilities. And like Masanee said, it's wonderful, an hour and a half over there. I've already been up there and checked it all out. It was great. And my brother came down and sort of checked it out. He was the family police and said, wow, what a wonderful group of family and friends you have here. And he went back and gave the report and said, she's in good hands. And it's true. And my problem now is making sure I get enough rest. I mean, it's, we went on this wonderful camping trip down south, and we were, the last day we're going, oh, we got to go back to our regular life on the ranch now, our retirement life. And it's like, wow, it's living the dream.
You absolutely have to have a calendar.
And here we are in the middle of February in our shirt sleeves with all the birds and the trees. And a cloudy day, but we're still toasty.
Yeah.
No rain.
Well, yeah, from Vancouver, and then we're from
Pacific
O'Connor.
Northwest.
Yep, and it's
Yeah.
like rain. I always look at the forecast. It's rain. Chance of rain.
Right?
But we got that nice pool facility, so we can be outside in the pool as long as you want to.
And there's endless interesting people here too. It's very diverse from all over the world, all nationalities. And a very interesting group of open-minded and people with deep history, very interesting stories from many people. And most people are retired, not everybody. There's a few workers still.
You know who you are.
Yeah, but you have the sense to come down here part of the year.
Well, that's true.
Yes,
Place to be.
Yeah.
Well, what you were saying about the types of people down here, it's the same thing that we talked about earlier. It's a sort process because they won't get here unless they're adventurous.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then they always have great stories.
Right.
I mean, that guy that we did in the hot pools used to fly medical people down and run a clinic down there at Puerto Cedars.
Really?
And he's done it since 1988. And he said it was just booming, big booming time down there. And so we asked for what happened. And he said he thought terrorism, that it's really not dangerous around here, but people have been fed the story. I think it's partly that and it's partly the money. The tourists brought money into this area, and I don't know that we can afford, our tourist spots in the States cannot afford to lose those people anymore.
It's a lot less expensive down here, and that's another factor that brought me here. My dollar goes a lot longer. My yearly expenses for HOA fees and taxes and utilities and that kind of thing, I think it's around $1,000. Something like that.
That's true. It's much less expensive to live down here than it is to live at home in terms of food and heat, because we're off the grid. And we could go to the market every Saturday and get all our fruits and vegetables for at least a quarter to a third of the price at home.
Yeah. And the restaurants are less expensive, and there's quite a diversity of restaurants. That's another activity that we share.
Yeah, one of the big decisions is which dollar night are we going to go to? And so your big night out is, it was $6 tonight for a meal, a really good meal.
Yeah. And there's constant fiestas in San Felipe. Every time you turn around, they have an excuse to have a party down there.
I heard there's a great annual Valentine's Day party in this neighborhood.
In this
It
neighborhood.
is. It
Really?
is.
Phenomenal food
Yeah,
and
that's
hostesses.
a women's gathering there. I think it is.
Yeah, when we came down and we took the tour with, we came down on the bus from San Diego and took the tour with our agent and he said, there's some people I want you to meet. And so he took us out to Penny and Denise's house. Because we were like, yeah, it's nice, but do we want to be that far away from a women's community and stuff? And we're like, oh my gosh, and, Penny was there and she had a shaman at the house at the time and we're like, this is amazing, what an incredible experience. And then we bought the lot and then we were driving down and it happens to be on the same cul-de-sac as Dan and Masanee and we drove by about, I thought 2 or 3 times. Dan and Masanee say, 9 or 10 times. And go, well, look, there's 2 women. And it's just the sense of community and family down here is what brings us back every year. Last year when we couldn't come because of my health, that we kept in contact, Facebook, it was just like, okay, that was the carrot that we kept dangling in front of us was, I gotta get well because we gotta go back to that. And here we are. We're really happy to be back.
We're really happy to have you back.
And we felt that, gosh, we had a surprise party for us. It was just amazing. My brother's like, oh my gosh, you've got a whole other family here. And he was very impressed.
Well, there's a deep spiritual aspect to this land as well that I felt immediately upon coming here. The land itself has got a magic and an energy that I'm attracted to.
Very much so for me too. I think it's as if I was seeking something. And this place, by stripping away a lot of folderol, gets you down to what's really real. Sea and sun and sand.
And stars.
And stars. And they're just very soothing. And you don't have to do anything. You can just sit on your lot. And you've got all of that.
How would you compare your welcome as lesbians here at El Dorado and in San Felipe to your community at home?
Well, as we were discussing earlier, we all feel that it's very accepting. We think that Baja is a short process, and most of the people that come here are adventurers, and they're from characters in their own right. And so they feel that everybody has the right to do as they please. And so I think that's part of why it's been very accepting for us. We have a very large and vital women's community. And that comfort of acceptance, I think, is why our community continues to grow.
That's right. Yeah. People are very open here, and as you said, adventurous people, and have probably had lots of challenges in their lives, and maybe one of the reasons they're also down here. So I find them very, very open and friendly.
We actually met some friends, the people we bought our trailer from, Ronnie and Dave, who were in our wedding this past year, and friends that we met here in Baja.
When we travel around the states, we go see straight and gay people that we've met in Baja. We've got a whole slew of Canadians that are friends that we might not have become friends with, except for the women's community here in Baja.